Hello, my name is Garrett Andreessen. I am a senior studying computer engineering at Colorado State University. I'm going to be talking about the deployment of a biometric-based attendance system. So some goals of the device. The overarching goal of this project was to use biometrics to keep tracks of students' attendance so that the teachers don't have to. And so in order to do this, we're going to need two separate modes, one for enrolling new fingerprints and one for detecting fingerprints that have already been enrolled. And we only want this enrolling mode to be accessible by the teachers, so there's going to be some kind of RBAC system in place for this. In addition, we want the system to be able to detect when a student is present, tardy, or absent. And so it has to be aware of the time and have a concept of time and when it needs to do stuff. And after all this, we want the device to just automatically send this attendance info to the teacher, and this is just supposed to streamline the attendance process. The teacher shouldn't have to do anything, and this will give them more time to focus on their administrative tasks, or just helping students in the class, or just teaching the class. So this is just going to help people have more time. And so this is some of the things I was able to accomplish. I was able to create a device that recognizes fingerprints, and I was also able to have a separate mode that can only be accessed by admins. Kind of has a role-based access control system in place. My device was able to be time aware and detect when someone was late or tardy, and then it also was able to successfully send the data to another computer at a specified time, and this is what it looks like on the other end. So I have the name of the student and their attendance status. So this is just the name of the fingers because I had 5 different students enrolled. And in addition to this, I also had integration with an LCD board and the use of indicators as well. And so I have a brief demo just to show everything working. So here I am scanning my middle finger, and it says hello middle over there. So now I use my thumb, which is the admin, and that's why this blue light lit up, indicating that this person now has admin access, so they can press the button which will enroll a fingerprint. And that red LED that lit up shows that they're currently enrolling a new finger. And so I'm just doing my pointer finger. I have to scan it twice, and then you type the name. So I just did pointer, and now let's check to make sure that worked. Hello pointer. Okay, so then I was able to detect that finger. So that is how my device works in a nutshell. So I learned a lot from doing this project, and I learned a lot about biometrics. And so in relation to security, biometrics are very interesting because they are a completely separate type of authentication. The 3 categories are something you know, something you have. So something you know would be an example, would be like a password. Something you have would be like a key card, and something you are is a biometric example. So some of these could be voice, fingerprint, your gait, iris scanner, facial recognition, and so it's very hard to duplicate or spoof. And in this picture right here, we can see that someone's trying to make a gummy mold in an attempt to duplicate a fingerprint, and this would be called spoofing. But it's very hard to do this, and but there's also some issues with biometrics as well, because the data can be very sensitive, making it very difficult to store, and you're never completely safe from people spoofing, and it's really hard to catch people that do this spoofing as well, especially once it actually works. And the last thing in relation to issues is just biometric systems need to be very accurate in order to work efficiently. So this is just a challenge that presents itself. And I also learned a lot in relation to project practices. And so I learned a lot about regression testing, which is just testing all of the components that are already in use after adding a new feature, just to make sure. So adding this new feature to not break any of the old ones. And using this along with the hierarchy of building is where you only implement one thing at a time, and you only work on that thing until it's done and working. You don't add anything before then. And so those two really allowed me to find bugs a lot faster and squish them before they became an issue. And I also learned how to use Git. So I not had a lot of experience with Git previously, but this project introduced me to it, and it's made me learn about what a handy tool it really is. So there is a lot of potential directions that this project could extend into, and so there's a lot of improvements that could be made just with the current iteration, and this would be something like adding more buttons and functionality when in the admin mode. So currently the only thing that you can do when you're in that mode is enroll fingerprints. There's no way to effectively delete fingerprints right now, not any one at a time, that you can delete them all at once, but it'd be really helpful to be able to delete only one at a time. So that could be something that could be very easily implemented in a similar way to how the enroll is working now. Having the entire device within like a shell to keep all the things protected, because it's very fragile right now, and that could be a very easy improvement. There's a lot of improved fingerprint scanners that could be used, and so these are just a few examples of different fingerprint scanners. And so there's a single one, here's a double one, and here's a 4421. And so all of these, this is just a way of improving the security and making it harder to crack. And there's also a bunch of security changes that I feel like could be beneficial as well. An example of this could be making sure that when a finger is placed on there, the scanner detects to make sure that the fingerprint is alive and not some kind of like gummy mold that somebody has created to try to trick it. So I think another really cool direction this project could go could be using some kind of machine learning. So a lot of the tests that I did with the fingerprint scanner showed that it has its accuracy changes greatly depending on the environment. So I did some tests with some very bright lights, very dark conditions with warm and cool light, and so I feel like it'd be very cool if there was some kind of machine learning that could adjust the confidence threshold and some other parameters depending on the environment that the fingerprint scanner is currently in. Yes. So overall, the goal of this project was to approve attendance taking in something like a school setting, and this would allow for teachers to have more time to focus on other things, other more important tasks, and this would also make the attendance be more accurate because friends couldn't cover for other friends, and the teachers just don't, because the teachers aren't doing, it takes the human aspect out of it. And I learned a lot of lessons in doing this project as well in terms of good practices with the regression testing and the only implementing stuff in a hierarchical way. And I also learned a lot of very interesting things about biometrics that I did not know before. And there's a lot of future work that can be done with this project as well, including adding some type of machine learning aspect to it to have it adapt to its environment to make better predictions, or with just some quality of life improvements with the current iteration, things like adding some more functionality to what the admin can do, or putting a nice shell around the device. These are both the ways that the device could be improved. Well, thank you for listening to my presentation, and have a great day.